All right, episode 3 of not Nightmares and Dreamscapes, Nightmares and Daydreams.
Yeah.
Okay. Poems and Pain. Oh, boy. All right. So, Kaylee, I guess I always ask you first what you think. What about what I think? Does anybody care what I think?
No.
Nobody does. That's fine.
No,
What do you
care.
think?
What do you think?
No, what do you think?
No, what do you think?
I liked it. I mean, I think, I've liked the first one the most thus far. And I would say 3 and 2 or 2 and 3 are about equal to me. I like this, though. I mean, I think that storytellers are obsessed with identical twins.
Yeah.
Like, everything's fucking
Yeah.
identical twins. Soap operas were real big into them, so
They're
they could like bring
super common
certain
trope.
actors
Yeah.
back. God, the amount of identical twins. That's why my daughters need to get into acting, man. They just need identical twins like
All the time.
all the time.
We just watched an X-Files episode with the
Eve.
Eve, yeah.
Yeah,
Eve 6.
Eve
the band.
6. That's right. Which, yes, anyway, we know. They're named after that. Nobody knows that. We know that. Some people know that. Moving on. So, yeah, we got a writer. She wrote this book that was a big bestseller for at least 7 weeks. And she's now trying to move away from that because it was painful to write. At first, when we meet her, we are kind of thinking like, oh, she's an artist and she just doesn't want to write the pop crap. She refers to it as like pop, and I'm
She says like pulp, right? Doesn't she call it like a...
oh, I thought she said pop. Like, like not fantasy, but some... Basically, it felt like it was like a Stephanie Meyer's kind of thing where it's like, I don't want to write Twilight. I want to write art. Right? Like, I don't want to just put out fan fiction drivel for the masses. I want to put out something with meaning, something for a more niche audience that is more intellectual, so that I, can leave more of a legacy. I thought it was more of a pretentious kind of thing, which I don't find to be pretentious, to be completely fair, like at all. Like, I think you should write what you want. And I feel like if you as an artist are like, I want to write something that has much more substance to it, then you should do so. But I think you can also, if you're struggling to pay the bills and you have the talent to write the next Twilight, even if you think it's garbage, I personally would be fine writing it. Make the money.
I think it depends. Yeah, like if you think it's garbage, then it's probably hard to write. But if you're
Sure.
just like I want to write something a little bit more intricate or whatever, but I can write this and it's like really popular, then like it's up to you ultimately. But I think she says, she calls it exploitive, I think is one of the words that she uses to describe it. So
well, once we learn what it is, I can understand that.
Well, yeah, so
because that's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
When we find out what it is and how she wrote it, then I'm like, oh, never mind. Like 100% I wouldn't write this book.
Yeah.
Right? Anyway.
Well, especially because like when, we find out like she was actually like going into like a trance, and then she would wake up with like pain from the story that she was writing, but now it has accelerated and she's actually getting marks on her physical body. Yeah. So that's definitely like, ooh, that's really scary. But
sure,
again, she needs the money because of her mortgage, and so she's kind of forced into it. But it ultimately ends up being a good thing that she does it, because it's how she finds out that it's about her twin sister. Yeah. Which, I didn't really see that. I definitely didn't see that coming, and was confused at first, because I think you even said like, oh, is that her mom? Like when she sees who it is.
I thought it was just like her reliving her past that she'd repressed.
Yeah, I thought that was the case too. Like she was the kid.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think it works fine being her twin, and I think it makes sense. I think that we have a lot of like lore around twins having, twin telepathy, and there's been studies that have shown that there is like a connection between twins, which is really fascinating. So I think it does make sense to use it in like a supernatural way, and I think definitely if somebody that you were like pretty much a genetic copy of was experiencing like intense torture all the time, it wouldn't surprise me that you would feel something. And especially with this, like she is kind of going into a trance state. So I thought that was cool. I liked that. But yeah, I mean, like, it's just the whole setup of her being kept in this basement, like, bunker is terrifying.
It's like the Brie Larson movie.
Yeah.
Room? Is that what it's called?
Oh, wait, no. I, for some reason, was thinking of, 13 cameras?
Oh. No.
Or 12 cameras?
13, 14, and 15.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't, of course, not the first movie like this.
No.
Or a story like this. Martyrs, right?
Sure.
Where they're keeping people in the basement and like, the family has them. Except for in this one, the family doesn't know that there's anyone down there. But, yeah, it's... I don't know. I don't know how... But then, I mean, we're getting towards the end on that, but, like, we find out, like, he's a demon or something.
I know, that was very unexpected, actually.
He's not a human.
Yeah.
So it's not like a human's doing this.
No.
It's some demon, which I thought, because it's connected to the first episode, and we actually see the entities from the basement of the, episode 1... for a second. I thought I was like, oh, cool. We're getting more, like, we're getting what I had said. Because I immediately was like, oh, I think he's keeping him down there. Because, like I said, you're going to have another baby.
Yeah.
And then he's going to keep that, like, he needs her to take care of that baby while she's down there, raise it up until he's older. And then he's going to come down there, kill her, grab the baby, and then, transfer the youth into him again. Mm-hmm. And I thought that each one of the rich people was probably bunkering, a kid, or at least, like, he was working for the people. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't even, like, really his kid. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That would make sense.
Maybe that's what it is.
It possibly, I don't know. But we also get like a vision of like some hell city or something.
For half a second.
Yeah, so definitely wasn't expecting him to be a demon. I thought his eye was gonna pop out, and then it was just his contacts.
Yeah,
and he's got those creepy all black eyes, but. Yeah, I mean, the family that he has, like his upstairs family.
Yeah.
Whenever they show up and they're like, where is she? And she, goes down to the basement, gets the kid and leaves with the kid. And they're just like, who was that? Like you had said, it would be over. Like, that's crazy. Yeah. But it's not. I think that, aren't they there? Isn't the wife there when they go back? I think she is.
I don't remember seeing them. There. I thought there was just a bunch of dudes.
Oh, maybe.
I thought she should leave. Although,
but if he's worse than a devil,
I'm not leaving the money.
Yeah.
Like some people just get too wrapped up in the amenities.
Yeah.
And they're like, I know it's fucked up, but where am I gonna go?
Yeah. That's true. It's really creepy, but I do like that our writer, that she's like. She feels very, like, she's gonna get something to happen to him at the end. Like, she's very...
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's retribution on the horizon or whatever, and I like that. I think that's really cool. So I hope that does come up in, like, a later episode. Like, maybe the last episode will tie everything in together and, like, finish all the stories. Obviously, all of these, they take place in Jakarta. They're all at different times, though, like, different... years.
Yeah.
So this one was 2022.
Yeah.
We'll have to see what the next one, what year it starts at, but.
Yeah, well, watching this, as someone who's written fiction stories and created characters, it would definitely, when you're writing just fake characters on a page, which these characters can become very real, especially, to the writer and then much more especially to the readers, right? Like Harry Potter or whatever, Lord of the Rings. These characters are like, as real as other humans in the world, They take on these lives of their own, and it definitely would be much more difficult to write these characters, injuries and their and all of their problems if you had to experience them while writing them. It's very easy. Although, as I've said, like, when you're writing these characters, when you become attached to them, it is kind of hard to do terrible things to them because you're kind of, you form a bit of a bond with them in your head. You're like, I don't really want to do that to them. So I don't think it's as easy as just like, just kill them off, But if like, when Game of Thrones, George was like having to experience the Red Wedding.
Yeah.
I think you might have wrote it different.
Well, I mean, But
she's not really, I don't know. I don't know what kind of influence she's having, right?
She is able to give some influence.
Some.
Because
she seems to be sending the message, but then she kind of like takes over him for a second.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is interesting.
She kind of projects into him, but she can't control him, and she can't control her sister either. She just kind of is trying to encourage her.
But does she
and then at one
help
point she
her
does,
like catch his hands?
I did think so, but
she seems to have abnormal strength.
She does,
in that moment.
I did think that was a possibility, and she does speak through her at one point too, because she's like, I know who you are, like I'm after you.
So she can control her,
but not really though, because she does say in the car like I can't control him. So I guess maybe like she could kind of merge with her sister and control her a little bit, but she had never really tried to do it before. She always just like watched, she was always just observing. So it wasn't until like, this episode, like recently when she starts rewriting that she's, trying to help. And I forgot what I was going to say.
Do you think they're going to try to make the kid think that that's his mom? Because like, he's like, Mom, and she looks just like her, and she takes him away, or her, sorry, away. So like, she's like, I'm moving, and taking him away.
I really hope not, because that's messed up to do. I think that's super messed up. But
like, is it more messed up to be like, your dad killed your mom, and I'm now your sister?
Personally,
or her sister,
I mean, as hard as that is, like, I don't know, like, I just feel like
it's a lot for that kid to handle.
But the kid's already been through everything. The kid's already been through it. It's not like...
but the kid is like, it's like in a weakened immune system. You don't want to hit it with like another illness.
Yeah, but then you lie to the kid, and the kid still has problems from the trauma that it doesn't consciously know about.
I get it. Neither option is good.
And then
Neither
finds out that
good.
You've been lying to her, and she gets, then that causes a whole nother can of worms. So
I don't blame you for going either route.
I don't think it... Yeah, I mean, personally, I would say you should be honest, and she should not pretend to be the mom, because I think that would give the child a better opportunity at, addressing her trauma.
The kid's ultimately gonna know, though, right? Kids aren't dumb.
What I'm interested in is if the kid, because this is 2022, like, I wonder how far into the future we're gonna jump. Probably not much farther than 2024, I'm guessing. Not. But it would be interesting if she's a character in a future episode. Like, I mean, this
up, 1,000,000% leaves off, like the last episode, incomplete.
Yes. Yeah, that's why I think the final episode is going to be tying things together.
I agree. Now, last question on this one. Where did that room go? Why? She goes into the house, and that room is not... It's not like...
It's not even the same.
It's been changed. Like, they redid the furniture and then filled in the basement.
Got windows.
It's a completely different room. And from what I can tell, it's not that much long after.
Yeah.
Days?
Magic, I'm guessing, and or they just reconstructed a whole room, and he's that wealthy that they could get it done that fast. It seems impossible.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the time jump is there. Because we go and she's like, oh, he's going to go to jail.
She still has all her wounds on her face, so it's like she hasn't even fully healed. So it's not more than like a week.
Yeah, it's a few days. I mean, how fast could you...
I'm guessing magic.
How fast could you tear that down and build it up like that, for it all to be settled and in. I don't know. Could you get that done in a couple days? I guess if you had enough money and the right crew, maybe. But magic, I mean, we know that he has access to unnatural things. Yeah. So it's not without, outside of the realm of possibility within what we've seen. But what we haven't seen anything like that. Yeah. We've seen, an older person stealing the youth from a kid, which he's connected to that. And we've seen a kid who can grant you what you want. Mm-hmm. Maybe he has ties to that kid, and the kid changed the room.
Maybe. I
don't know if we're connecting.
I'm guessing magic is probably how it was done, though.
So he has the ability to make magic. Why didn't he fight back?
Supernatural thing.
I don't understand why he didn't fight back more on them taking the kid out of there. Because he kind of approaches the guy and calls his bluff. And I was like, oh, he's calling his bluff. But then he doesn't call his bluff. And I was like, really? I thought you were definitely calling his bluff there. Yeah. And then he just comes out and he's just still holding the fake gun on him. Yeah. And it's like, if he came at him, he's screwed. Yeah. And I don't know. And plus the fight between the wife and him, or the chick and him, mm-hmm. Her being able to overpower him. Mm-hmm. I don't know if both of their strengths combined.
That's what I thought happened. So she just was stronger, and he was kind of shocked by it. And I think he was also shocked that she was even fighting back.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, and then him being a demon, I mean, that could also explain why he didn't go after the kid more. Is that he's just this is kind of all a game to him. It's not that he doesn't feel like he lost yet.
But why would he want the kid? What's the end goal? That he already has a family and kids upstairs.
I don't know. Her sister does hint at something though, that there's something else going on. So I don't know why he wanted them. I don't know. I can't really imagine.
I think it's because,
what you had said initially makes sense, so it could definitely be that.
But I thought you couldn't leave that place and that, the retirement community.
I think you can, though.
And he's not at the retirement community.
Yeah.
So if he is one of them,
and he just has his other family,
holding another kid down there, and he's because he has the family he wants.
Yeah, and this is just
he's
another
I'm not going to kill them, but I'm just going to kill these.
Maybe. Yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys think? We'll find out in the next episode if they connect more. All right.